Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we got I Learned This the Hard Way by Retired Life with Reese Will. I like these guys. They got wisdom. We think we know it all, but we don't.
And avoid the drama. But in my 57 years, especially spending 32 of them driving those big feeder trucks for UPS, I've seen some stuff.
I'm not going to mention the company I work for because I don't want that drama, but I've seen UPS. We know how they do.
Things first, if you're still working and you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, keep it to yourself. You should never tell management or even a favorite coworker that you're thinking about quitting or retiring. Keep that news.
I did that last year. I was thinking about getting a job closer to home. Definitely a lot less pay, but I was getting tired of the commute. So I started telling everybody I was thinking about leaving. And here I am, a year later, still there. Everybody forgot about it, but still, I look like an idiot.
Under wrap until you are ready to hand that official letter. Think about this. Why hand over all your leverage? The second you tell someone at work, yeah, I'm tired of this, I'm thinking about another year or two and I'm out, you have just given them total power over your future. Now, look, I know how it is driving night shift, dealing with lack of sleep, the fatigue, the constant demand to perform. Those were incredibly stressful times. There were many times
I wouldn't have it any other way. I hate day shift. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but as far as truck drivers are concerned, day shift, they got to deal with customers, getting phone calls from dispatch all the time, doing the manual labor. It wouldn't be so bad, but customers and they're just BS like children. Not for me.
I wanted to vent and say, I'm done. But you have to resist. If management knows you're leaving, they might treat you differently or worse, they might decide your departure date for you. Let's say they decide to push you out in a few months earlier than you planned for budget reasons. If you agree to leave at the end of the year, but your company pays out bonuses for the previous year in February, you might just be forfeiting that bonus. That's your
Managers looking for that extra bonus for themselves, seeing how much money they can save.
money. You work for it. Don't risk it. You need to be the one controlling the timing. You get all your ducks in a row. You make your plans with your spouse. You talk to your financial guy. You make sure everything is rock solid. And only when you're 100% ready on your terms do you let them know. Now, this one is a big one. Keep your exact salary, your pension details, or what you have sitting in your savings account completely private. Talking to friends, neighbors, or your colleagues about your specific financial situation should be on a need to know basis only. And very few people need to know. Here's the reality: when two people sit down and start comparing bank accounts or salaries, rarely does it lead to a positive place. Usually, someone walks away feeling either a little arrogant or much more likely they walk away jealous, disappointed, hurt, or judging the other person. There's just nothing good to be gained from it. If people think you have a lot, they might treat you differently or expect you to cover the bill all the time. If they think you don't have enough, they might start judging your life choices. I just keep my numbers quiet. Now, there are exceptions. Your spouse needs to know everything, and you need to be honest with.
That's why I do the opposite. I tell them that I have 3 times more than I actually have. No, I'm just kidding. But I stopped talking to everybody at work like 2 years ago. And it's a revolving door. People come and go. All the new people think that I'm just like that. But I wasn't always like that. I learned to be like that. I do like the older guys, though. They're funny. and they treat you like like your age, like you're their grandkid or kid.
Your professionals that you hire to help you, your accountants, your tax attorney, your investment guy, they need to know that information to do their jobs correctly. But for everyone else, it's just not their business. Now, this one I see backfire on family people a lot. You should never overshare the serious problems or struggles of your children, your spouse, or your siblings with anyone outside that core immediate circle of trust. As a husband, a father, a son, and a brother, I understand that when someone you love is hurting and going through chaos, you hurt too. You might feel a
Speaking of chaos, sounds bad out there.
desperate need to vent about it. Maybe talk to a neighbor or a casual friend just to get the weight off your chest. But you have to be so careful. First of all, it's not your story to tell, it's theirs. Sharing their medical issues, their financial troubles, their legal problems, or even their relationship disasters violates their privacy and damages that trust. And second, that information never stays in a safe space you thought it was in. People talk. The next thing you know, your son
Yeah, I had a driver just straight up admit to me one day. Yeah, so we were on the party line. And the party line is when they got like multiple drivers. Drivers are just something else. Yeah, we were talking about you, and then he's like, "Well, I didn't mean we weren't like saying nothing bad. We were just, it just came up in conversation." Like, bro, I think that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck everybody.
or your daughter's private crisis is the gossip of the block. That doesn't just cause embarrassment, it causes imperishable harm to your relationship with that very person you were concerned about. If you're desperate to talk, go vent in private to your spouse, your religious leader, or maybe a licensed professional therapist. But keep that drama in house. Respect your loved one's privacy.
Real quick, I just want to add, I'm not antisocial. I talk to you in person, face to face. We want to talk about the gym. We can talk about the gym. We can talk about TV. We can talk about, but don't call me. Ain't nothing that we got that personal going that we need to, talk on the phone.
This one I've seen destroy more workplace peace and even wreck careers faster than almost anything. I know, look, we've all been there. We have all worked with people who drove us crazy, colleagues who were lazy, or bosses that we generally sincerely disliked and didn't respect. That's just a part of life. But you have to resist the urge to vent about how you truly feel to anyone you work with. Don't complain about your boss to another coworker. Don't make a scene unless you are complaining exclusively to your spouse behind closed doors.
I see my talking smack multiple times about drivers, mainly drivers. I mean, to be fair, you know how drivers are. But at the same time, you're the. The moment that I was overhearing that shit, I lost all respect for that guy. But don't tell anybody.
Keep it all in house. Do you not think that info leaks back in the workplace? It almost always does. It can cause immense tension. It gets back to your boss, and the next thing you know, the person that controls your schedule, your promotion, and your paycheck doesn't trust you.
I'm not gonna go through the entire video, just the parts that I felt really apply to me. But I did want to check out some of these comments. Never tell people your problems. Half don't care, and the other half are glad you have them. It's brutal. Also, be careful who you allow in your home. I came across an acronym a few years ago. WAIT. Why am I talking? It's a good one. The most underused used right, a man has is to remain silent. Yeah, it's crazy how unself aware some grown ass fucking men are. Like I said, ever since I found out that a group of adult men were chit chatting about me and where I live and what I'm doing, and I was like, what? Cut everybody off. You should be comfortable with yourself. Be your own friend, you know? And all you really need is your inner circle, your people at home, your close friends. And there are good people out there, but it's the bad ones that put you on edge, that put you on suspect mode. You know, you can trust but verify, right? Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching, and please hit subscribe, help the channel grow. Thank you.